Okay, this is our overhead lunge. And there's a couple of variations to this where we add an overhead lunge with twist and an overhead lunge with tilt. Now, there's a few different reasons why we might be doing this movement or exercise depending on exactly what you have going on. But overall, in general, it's just a great movement flow type thing to do. So whether it's knee pain, an ankle thing, hip, low back, even T-spine, mid-back stuff, there's a lot of different reasons why we might throw this in. The goal here is to do a lot of things all at once and let the spine start to move. Let the hip start to take some load into flexion and then into extension. Let the knee start to take some load into flexion and extension. The ankle has to dorsiflex and pull back up. The ankle and foot have to supinate and pronate if we're twisting through it, different things like that. We want to keep the foot firm and the knee in a good spot the whole time. So there's a lot of different reasons to do this. Again, the idea is to make it smooth and look pretty good. The better we can do that, the better we're doing this. So whether it's a low back thing, we want the spine to start to tilt and turn and encourage some movement back into through these regions. Again, it really depends on what you got going on. So for this, we're going up overhead. What I like to do is just a few normal forward lunges, forward and back. Just make sure that we feel pretty good, keeping our arms up above our head. And for some people, this can be even a challenge as well, right? So loading in through the hip versus too much through the knee. Make sure the hip plays along and is actually taking some of that load. The ankle has to dorsiflex here so that knee goes forward and then comes back. The knee has to flex and extend. What I want to throw into here is a twist towards the forward side and then back. Nice and smooth and easy. Notice as I go forward, the knee stays relatively stable over top of the foot and the foot doesn't branch out towards the side or shift off on towards the outside. So the inside edge always stays down. That's what we want. Inside edge stays down. Keep a little bit of force and pressure through the big toe so that the foot doesn't pop up to alleviate or compensate as we rotate into the side. We're encouraging a ton of pelvic on femur rotation and a whole bunch of other things, some supination at the foot and then pronation as we come back out of it. The spine has to allow itself to rotate, different things like that. Now the last variation would be the tilt. So we tilt towards that forward side and we come back. Might see or find that one side's a little bit harder than the other. Right, we're just trying to get really good and smooth that and get better and better and better. So we let the spine tilt really good for the low back. The foot, knee, and hip need to be able to do their thing without you having to think too much about it. And again, just make sure that knee is doing a good job of staying, keeping its position. It means the hip's doing its job and the foot's doing its job. Okay, so add these into your movements here. Try variations of this to different degrees. Maybe we do more forward and backward in just a few twists, or we do a whole bunch of twists but not a lot of tilts, or we can do a whole lot of tilts, right? Depending on what you got going on. But this is our overhead lunge with twist or tilt. Give it a shot.